How are PCBs assembled? In this video, we take you inside our modern PCB assembly line and walk through every step of the SMT and through-hole assembly process. Learn how solder paste is applied, how high-speed pick-and-place machines accurately place thousands of components, and how reflow soldering creates reliable electrical and mechanical connections. We also cover the critical inspection and testing processes used to ensure quality, including SPI, AOI X-ray inspection, flying probe testing, and in-circuit testing. A basic smartphone can have around 1,000 to 3,000 electronic components mounted on its PCB. Now, imagine assembling all of those parts by hand. It would take forever. But thanks to modern automation, today's PCB assembly lines can build these complex boards in just minutes. So how are PCBs assembled? The basic idea is surprisingly simple. First, solder paste is applied onto the PCB pads where components need to be connected. Then, electronic components are carefully placed on top of the paste. When the board is heated, the tiny metal particles inside the solder paste melt and create strong electrical and mechanical connections. Once cooled, the solder hardens and securely holds the components in place. But in reality, even a tiny mistake like a slightly misaligned component or a poor solder joint can cause the entire PCB to fail. That means wasted material, lost time, and expensive rework. That's why most of the PCB assembly processes are now automated. As soon as an order places, component sourcing begins in parallel with barboard fabrication. This allows the parts and PCBs to be ready around the same time and to simplify your turnkey experience. Source and stock your components with us. Most SMT parts come in a tape in reel form. These reels hold thousands of tiny components organized for automated placement components that do not come in tape. And reel packaging can also be converted using a component taping machine. Next, a stainless steel stencil is created using a laser stencil cutting machine. Tiny openings are cut into the stencil based on the PCB pad layout, where solder paste needs to be applied. The stencil is then aligned over the bare PCB and solder paste is printed onto the pads. This paste helps temporarily hold the components in place and later forms the electrical and mechanical connections during soldering. After printing, solder paste inspection systems verify solder paste volume, alignment, and height. This prevents defects before component placement begins. The board and the SMT tape and reels are fed the high-speed pick-in-place machine. It can place thousands of components every hour with micron-level accuracy onto the solder paste before soldering. Engineers perform first article inspection. This verifies component orientation, polarity, and placement accuracy. The populated board now enters a reflow oven. The heating profile must be carefully controlled because excessive heat can damage components, while insufficient heat can create weak solder connections. 2D X-ray inspection checks hidden solder joint quality beneath the components like BOGAS and QFN. Automated optical inspection systems scan the PCB for missing components, polarity issues, tombstone, and solder defects. Electrical testing verifies connectivity and circuit integrity after assembly. Flying probe testing is ideal for prototypes and low-volume builds, while in-circuit testing is used for high-volume production. For through-hole components, boards move through a wave soldering machine where molten solder forms electrical connections. Some assemblies also go through a selective soldering process where the solder is only applied to specific through-hole components without affecting nearby SMT parts. After soldering, the boards are cleaned using deionized water and chemical cleaning agents. This removes flux residues and contamination. If your assembly cannot be exposed to water, be sure to inform your manufacturer before production. Once assembly is complete, the PCB panels move to depanelization, where individual boards are separated using methods like voring, routing, or laser cutting. Finally, car teams inspect the board for workmanship, labeling, cleanliness, and overall build quality. To ensure a smooth PCB assembly process, here's what you can do. Create accurate footprints and pad sizes based on the component datasheets. Component spacing is equally important. Placing parts too close together can create solder bridges and make inspection or rework difficult. Designers should also clearly mark component polarity, fiducial, and orientation to avoid incorrect placement during assembly. Visit www.hitechpcb.com for end-to-end PCB manufacturing and assembly services, including rigid, flex, and HDI technologies. Download our PCB design guides to learn more. Follow us for more PCB content.